Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be going over a training time video, and this training time video will be based on what I wish I knew before joining a dressage club. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, ever since I really did the one about like how to apply to a club or like a PQL type club. And then as of late I've been doing a lot of stuff with the club, and I have been thinking about things that I have lacked in or things that I wish that I knew. That way I could make myself a better pixel writer is what I call it. And so this is kind of what that video is going to be about. And I'm just going to shout out this person over here for wearing the PQL stuff. Hi, person. I think that this person did an interview the other day, but I can't for the life of me remember their nickname. But you look really cute, and thank you for supporting us. But yeah. So we're going to start at the usual place, Steve's Farm, and we're going to start doing races here. Once again, I'm not messing with my camera angle because this is like the perfect angle I figured out for dressage for me, so I'm not moving it. But first off, we're going to just talk about that. The little mechanics that I wish that I knew before joining a dressage club. I wish that I knew before my interview, before everything, that I needed to have my camera angle way out here. I was doing dressage in the normal camera angle right behind my person, and I didn't realize how important it was to have your camera angle out and have a mouse instead of using your trackpad, because I use a laptop, and I wish I would have known before I tried out for PQL just how bad I needed that mouse and this camera angle, because it took me about a week after getting on trial or on Scholar for the club to realize that I was suffering very, very badly and doing worse than everybody else because I did not have this camera angle and I did not have the mouse. I actually had fixed my camera angle, and I had actually had it in a different position than it is now because they showed us how to do the camera angle when we first got in the club. But it was way too far for me to see the sand lines when I did it, but I could see the whole line. Now I've kind of found a happy medium where I can turn my camera and see the whole line and see everything, but I'm close enough to the ground to where if I really need to check my sand lines, I can check them, which makes things a lot easier for me. And I wish I would have known that as soon as I joined this club instead of how long it took me to figure it all out. Going on from that, I wish that I realized before joining a dressage club the little technical things that PQL does, which I don't know if all clubs do this because I have never been in another dressage club. I have only ever been in hangout clubs, and we did like a few things of dressage, but nothing too crazy. I wish I would have known the little like button mechanics, how important it was to pick what buttons we use. We use a lot of WASD instead of like the arrow keys, just because it's easier to get to like your X to stop or your escape if you're ever doing something in ignore global. And I wish so much that I would have known to get used to those, because right now when I do training and when I'm just on the game, I use the arrow keys. But I did not know how important it was for me to use the WASD. And it took my left hand to learn a lot than it did for my right hand. And so for the first like maybe few days of me being in PQL, I tried using the arrow keys, and I realized real fast that I needed to learn the WASD keys muscle memory wise. And it actually really messed with my key dexterity a lot because I wasn't sure how much to click up, how much to slow down, how much to hold my arrow key, not my arrow key, to the A or the A or the D key to turn and stuff like that. And so I'm even still sometimes grappling with that today, just because my left hand is not as used to it as my right hand is. But I think I'm doing a lot better, and I write things down now to help me remember. And that's another thing that I wish I would have done. My mentor was Flaw for PQL, and she had told me like when she does comp team, when she does stuff, she writes things down. She has a notebook that she writes things down in. And at first I was like, I don't need to do that. I can remember. I was a person who did dance and all this other stuff and had to remember routines really, really fast. No. I would be so focused, on being perfect in line or being like what's coming next that I wouldn't always remember the whole routine, and then I'd get to a part where I was like, or they'd say a move that we hadn't done before, or they'd say a move that I didn't know, and I wouldn't be able to even think about like, oh, you need to do this, or oh, you need to do that, especially when it was a move that I just learned. So, thank you. My boyfriend just made me food because he's a perfect person. Thank you, babe. I love you. Um, and I realized that I needed to start writing stuff down, and I actually just started doing them, which is so bad of me. I'm very particular on notebooks that I use when I do things, so I actually had to go buy or like use a new notebook. I actually stole it from Nathan, but I was gonna go buy one specifically for this, but he had one that wasn't being used, so I like was very particular. Wow, I suck at this race. I hate bunny rabbits. Oh gosh, don't tell Bunny I said that. She'll get upset. Bunny will kill me. um, but so I took a little while to like write stuff down, and then it took me a little while to realize how I could write things down to remember things. And it's helped so much. I write down my odd and even. I write down like now what I've started to do is after doing comp team on just a regular comp person and then doing the part that I'm doing now, the part that I was doing before, I had a lot of struggle with because I got it down for a while where in the position I was in where I was switching out with somebody for a really long time, but then people were gone for a little bit or like something had happened where I needed to be put in a different spot and I didn't know the other side. Because they do opposite sides, or I didn't know how to do it as an even and I was an odd. So that really hurt me. And now, ever since then, I write down everybody's part. I'm actually supposed to, at some points, have Bambi muted. And I haven't been, like, I have been when I'm in it, but I don't have her muted when I am, like, just watching, because me and a person are switching out of spots every now and again. And when it's just Bambi, and Flaw and Becca doing the routine, I just sit there and I write down my part and the other person's part. That way, like, right now, for sure, I'm probably gonna, either not be in comp team or just be doing the part that I've been switching in and out of. We kind of talked about that, but that's here, no here, no there. But I still write down the other people's parts, not only to help me so I know where we're at in the routine, but also just in case I'm ever thrown into the routine now, I know what's going to be happening. And I wasn't doing that before, and that actually hindered me because when I got put into that other part, I didn't realize how to do the cobra on one side or how to do whatever or this or that, and it hurt me. And I don't ever want to do that to myself again. And now I know better. So yeah, have a notebook, write your stuff down, write your part down, write everybody else's parts down. Even if you don't think that you're going to be doing them, write them down. It'll help you in the routine. If you forget where you're at or you don't know where you're doing stuff, if you write that stuff down, you'll be fine. But that's somebody that I know, but I couldn't see their name. Dang it. I suck at this race today. I'm so sorry. I'm talking and not paying attention to where the rabbits are going. I don't know who that was, but I saw the pink queens, but I didn't see who it was because I couldn't see their name. But hi, person that's in the club. I love you. But they might have said something to me in chat or something. Oh, no, they're doing the race. I want to know who that is. Hold on. Is it Flaw? It might be Flaw. Flaw's on. I don't ever know Flaw to get on this game without doing dressage. Who are you? But she might be training up her Arab. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Oh! Oh gosh, is that Dawn? I can't remember. I'll have to look later. I'm so sorry. Some of the older members I haven't been around as much as the newer members because the newer members are very much really, really active and I see their names a lot, or I practice with them a lot because they ask me to, or I have met them when I first came in. And then the older members, I know a lot of different ones, but some of the ones that only like do comp team and only do stuff like that, I don't see as much. So I really need to pay attention. I think that's Dawn. I don't know. I hope I guessed right. Sorry if you're not Dawn. I love you. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I write stuff down now, and it's really, really helped. Another thing that I wish that I knew before joining a dressage team is how much time it takes out of my day. And this is more just like, it's not a bad thing, right? Because we have to get ready for stuff. We have a competition coming up. We have stuff that we got to do. But your little girl over here who was completely naive and just like, oh, I'll join the club. It looks cool. They do some stuff, but I'm sure like I'll be able to do it. No, absolutely not, Zora. No. Girl, you had no idea what you were getting yourself into. And it's okay because I actually really, really like it. If I didn't like it, it would be a problem, but I love it and I love the people and I love what we do. So it's been fine. But I'm going to caution people, if you're going to join a dressage club like PQL, do not join it if you don't have the time for it, because that's what I see hurt people because they can't show up to stuff. And we have practices every single day, okay? And I mean, like, they're not all required. Like, if you can't go to something, like, whatever. But there is a certain requirement of practices that you have to go to. And if you don't meet that requirement, you get in trouble, get a strike or whatever. And then after a certain amount of time, if you're still missing so much stuff, you can't be in the club anymore. And so I wish that I knew, just for my anxiety and just for my perfectionism of myself, that I knew how much time it was going to take. Because my thing is like, I want to be so involved and I love this club so much and I want to be so into the, oh, I love that horse. Sorry, I love magical horses. Sorry, I wanted to grab this over here. Thank you. I wanted to be so involved that I don't even like to miss one practice. And it's taken me, like, forcing myself to, like, this is, like, I'm not saying that I miss tons of practices, but, like, it's taken me forcing myself to miss, like, one required practice I haven't been to like, catch up on stuff in my life for me to have a good balance. And I want to be the person who gets the most practices. I want to be the person who gets the smart cookie. I want to do that because I put that much pressure on myself. And a lot of the other people in the club do too, because we love each other. We want our club to be as successful as possible. We want to do as much for our club as possible. We want to be on comp team. We want to do all this stuff. But I caution people because you have to find a happy medium for yourself, because you can't just be on SSO all the time, right? And a lot of times when we have practices, it's when I'm doing dinner, it's when I'm supposed to be talking to my family. And so I've had to find a very happy medium for it. Or I've had to like be like, okay, this is when practice ends, this is when I need to get off, or something like that. And it's rare for me because I've kind of found a balance around my life where I can go and do everything that I want to do while also going to all the practices. But there has been recently like a few princess practices that I've missed, so I can like go to comp team after or something like that, where I'm not on SSO constantly and where I can still spend time with my boyfriend and my parents and the people who I find really, really important to me, because I am going to go back to school soon and I want to see those people before I leave. So yeah. And finding that balance when I get to law school is going to be a happy time, okay? I'll be struggling, so just hang on to me there. I might not be making a lot of videos at that time. But moving on from that, I also wish that I knew how... Okay, this is kind of... Okay, so I did research on my personal club that I was going to go into, but I didn't do like a lot of research on other people's clubs. I wish I would have known how cutthroat dressage can be. And I'm not saying that as in like everybody fights. No. What I mean is how competitive it can be. You can lose by 1 point. Like, and be like you could be in first place and then you can lose by like half a point and you could be in 23rd place. Like, that's just how it is. It's so like a numbers game. And I was fortunate enough to have people that are owning this club and people who are involved in this club who know how to do the numbers game. I was really like floored by how competitive this can be and how perfect you have to be. And I put a lot of pressure on myself for that, especially when I've been wanting to join comp team. And something that I realized that I kind of told somebody the other day who has also been on Scholar and who also has been not struggling, but just not having the best practices or whatever recently, which like happens to all of us. We were talking and we like were saying like, oh my gosh, like you're a Scholar, that's awesome, like, and everybody puts this pressure on themselves in PQL. I've realized I did this to myself, where if you're on trial or you're on Scholar, even if you're on Scholar and you have the extra time, you want to graduate from Scholar and trial at that week period that you're supposed to be off with everybody else, because otherwise you don't feel like you've done your job. I did this to myself, and I like tried, like I was like, oh my gosh, I was like killing myself to get like on this club. I was practicing like 2 a.m. I was like, I want to get off Scholar with these trials. I can do it. I'm going to do it. And I kind of kicked myself in the foot later for that, because with what I had to learn still and what I needed to do to get myself up to the point to where I could join comp team, I would have valued for taking an extra week to focus on me and focus on my fundamentals. And honestly, to focus on the moves that I didn't know, because you guys got to remember, when I got into this club, I knew like what a curl and a comb was. Like that was it. And I had the audacity to put that I was intermediate on my flippin' application. Absolutely not. I was absolutely a beginner, knew nothing. Absolutely not even a beginner. Absolutely just stupid and knew nothing. So yeah, it's also taken me a while to learn the moves. And there's a lot of moves that we do, and there's a lot of moves that are PQL moves by themselves that I didn't know and that I've had to learn for comp team. I wish that I would have taken the time to not pressure myself into getting off a Scholar, because that's not what Scholar's for. Scholar is definitely for taking your time, learning what you need to learn. I mean, you want to do it in a timely fashion, right? You don't want to be taking 3 months to learn everything, but you also want to take that extra time to help yourself to get where you need to go, because Scholar is for the people who aren't really at the requirements that we need to be in the club. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I met those requirements. And I think that I don't think that that's Bambi or Flaw or anybody's fault. I think it was my fault, because I should have recognized that and I didn't, and now I do. And like, I have no business, even like when I was starting to do comp team or like starting to look into doing comp team, I had no business in doing that, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into and what I needed to know and how fast-paced it was. Now, like, I've been doing it for a while, so I feel like I've got it, and I'm, like, getting it under control, and I actually feel like I'm doing pretty decent, if you want my personal opinion, but, you know, somebody might not have that personal opinion, and that's okay. But I definitely think that I had no business even being in the club at that point. And I was like all gun for ho, like I want to be a staff member, I want to do this, I had no business doing that, okay? None, absolutely not. Zora, you need to, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be the best, and you aren't the best yet, Zora, so you need to take that time and not be masked by all the things that could be you, and focus on what you need to work on. And I wish I would have known that, because now I like took myself through like a week of comp team and like stress that I honestly wasn't ready for. And I think that it honestly made it worse on me, and it made me not as focused on the things that I needed to work on, and only focused on, oh, I need to be part of comp team. And that wasn't anybody's fault for even letting me in the club. I masked it really well. I'll be honest with you. I masked the things that I didn't do really, really well. When I knew that Bambi was looking at somebody else in line, I was like, fix it. When I knew that Bambi was looking at me, I was like, you better know this move. And I needed to be like, you need to know what you're doing, even if Bambi's not looking at you. So, Bambi, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was a basket case. And still sometimes am, but, you know, I feel like I've taken that learning curve and I've definitely learned from it. But I'm definitely cautioning people now who are in Scholar to recognize your weaknesses. And if those weaknesses are really, really great, like mine were, to take your extra time, because you need to. And even if you feel like you're not going to be the best, or you don't feel like you're where you're supposed to be, that's the point of having Scholar. So that's something I wish I would have known. That there is definitely a difference between trial and Scholar, and you don't need to be doing everything that the trials are doing, because the trials already have the requirements and you don't. So really important, especially as these people have been coming in and are welcomed and all that. You guys, take your scholar time and run with it, because you're going to need to do that. Another thing I would have wished I would have known. So, you know, you do your research, you buy the stuff that you're supposed to buy, and then, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, we're not doing it. Just ignore it on my screen. Oh, wrong thing. And then you get on the team and you have to buy a comp outfit, and you have to buy a dressage outfit, and you have to buy the hair, and you have to buy the new club horse that we add to the club. I wish I would have known how expensive it sorry, I'm dying. How expensive it was going to be to have or be in a dressage club. And I kind of knew, but then we were doing something with the black Moari, and I was like, oh, I gotta go buy this horse. Then we were doing something, possibly going to be buying the Palomino, and I was like, okay, I have to go buy this horse. And then we had to buy a black outfit, and then I had to buy the comp outfit, the comp hair, which, like, we're lucky right now that the competition that we're doing, I only needed the hair for, because I love my blonde hair. I'm the only one with this blonde hair in the club. I was lucky enough that Bambi and Mars were like, yeah, it's fine. You're fine. Just wear that. It's fine. As long as it's blonde. But it is kind of not the blonde that we like. And I was like, I really like it, though. Because I was a girl who wore black hair, and I really like my black hair that I wear on here. And if I have to give that up, I want to keep my blonde hair that I like, okay? Which, like, whatever. If they would have said no, I would have still went and bought a different hair. Bunny cracks me up, because Bunny, she'll come in and have, like, the wrong hair, and Bambi will be like, Bunny! And Bunny's like, I'm here to break the rules. Which, like, she'll go change it if she's told to, but I think that it's so cute. Like, it's something about Bunny's personality that I think is adorable. But yeah, I wish I would have known how expensive it was going to be, and I kind of knew because I kind of did research, but if you don't do that research, you have no idea. So, just, you know, you might have to buy more than just the Moari that you see in the club, okay? You may have to buy more than just the one Palomino or whatever, because you might be using it in different things. So, you know, pay attention to that. Keep your bank account open. And it hasn't been super expensive. I'd say maybe 3,000 star coins I've bought with the club, but even before that, I bought about another 1,000. So I'd say about 4,000 star coins before I even joined the club, because I wanted to make sure that I was buying all the stuff before I got in the club to help me, because I was a scholar who didn't have everything. So, yeah. Another thing that I wish I would have known. How nitpicky that they can be at you. No, this sounds really negative, but I want to say this in the most positive way. Oh, somebody's doing stuff. Somebody's doing stuff. The most positive way I know possible, okay? If you miss a line, they're going to call you out. If you are behind in caps, they're going to call you out. If you think that you're perfect, you're not. Oh, see, I told you, the only reason Flaw gets on here is to do dressage. That's the only reason. Hi, Flaw. She's probably talking to somebody, or she's looking at something or something to do. Oh, she saw me. She saw me. Oh, hi. Hi. I am doing a video. I'm gonna help me test the outline in a few. Yes. Give me 2 minutes. We're gonna go do this race and then call it, because I want to help. Aw, hi guys. We have everybody on today. Sorry, I got distracted because I got really excited that she wants me to help her with this. But anyway, she needs help because I'm not gonna tell you about our routine, but we have a special part, and we have to kind of do it together if we're gonna fix how we do things versus other people. But anyway, so I wish I would have known how nitpicky they were gonna be, because when I think that I'm fine, I'm not fine. And so that's made me really hard on myself, just because that's who I am. But you have to be perfect, and we want to be perfect, and we want to be number 1, and we haven't gotten there quite yet, because we've had a few mistakes, and Bambi doesn't want those mistakes, and neither does Mars. So they try to instill that we need to be as perfect as possible, and they're right, we do. But they also are very awesome about, like, when you first get in, and also when you're not doing comp, like, hey, like, your gap's off, but, like, it's okay. Like, you can be in boss, you don't have to be in HI. but like, get as close as you can to it, and that's helped a lot. And they also understand that the Arabians kind of have different movements than the Mawaris, so if we're going to be in line with the Arabians and the Mawaris, it's going to kind of be a difficult time. I've noticed that when the Arabians turn, they all of a sudden zoom, or when they back up, they zoom, or when they turn, they're really, really slow compared to the Mawari. So, having these two club horses, we usually, when we do things together with them, we have to, like, account for stuff like that. But we've usually been using them separately, so it has been no problem. So yeah. But in a second here, I'm going to call it a day, guys. And we've trained this horse up a lot more than I thought we were going to train this horse up today. Because Flaw wants my help, and I'm going to go help her. And I might just do it. I think I have my club stuff in here. I have the outfit. I don't really have the tag. I might just go switch horses real quick. But yeah, so that's what I wish I knew before I joined the dressage team. Everything about it is actually a positive thing because I want people to know now, after me experiencing it and being in it for the first time, what you guys are supposed to expect. Because if you don't, it can be kind of difficult, and you don't want to have those learning curves that I had. So I hope that this video helped you guys, and I really, really hope that you guys have a great day. Bye, lovelies.